Hello everybody, Mikey here, or Burns Post like I always say, and today I got a bit of a hot button topic in the FNAF community. FNAF has a book problem, so today I will be going into the FNAF books as a whole and give my thoughts on why it's becoming a bit of a problem. Hey, so I don't usually do this, but my mic got really weird in the middle of recording this and I have no clue how to fix it. So just bear with me, it gets like a little halfway through and where it gets like really weird. So again, just bear with me, please, I'm begging you. Please, keep watching. So, as of now there's 3 FNAF book series, the Silver Eyes Trilogy, the Fazbear Frights, and the Tales from the Pizzaplex. So I didn't read all these books, and if that makes you feel like my opinion is invalid from this point on, that's okay, but watch anyway so I can get the watch time, please. I have read the Silver Eyes Trilogy more times than I can count though. But luckily for me, how I will be talking about the books today does not require reading them, because I'm not judging their quality, just their place in the game series. So, what's my beef with the books? Well, there's too many of them for a casual fan to care about. A little while back when the Mimic was introduced to the games, a lot of people weren't a fan of this because that means at least the Tales from the Pizzaplex could be canon to the games. And I don't have any thoughts on this theory for this video, but the problem with that is, at least for me, is that I don't feel like reading 8 books to see if one of those stories are relevant to the games, you know? Man, I'm so glad this is only a Steelwool problem and Scott would never do something like introduce a book character into the games and make that character super important to the games. So yeah, Henry did the same thing in Pizza Sim, and at the time everyone loved it, myself included. But the same people feel annoyed at the Mimic's inclusion in Ruin, myself included. Now, why is that? Well, I think it's because Henry came from a trilogy of books instead of a series. But even besides that, Henry was also explained in his game too, through a couple of different ways. One, even if you didn't know it was Henry, you could at least recognize him as the Cassette Man, and if you did want to find out more, you could buy the Egg Baby in the game and find out his name through that. He also explained his connection to the story in his monologue, no reading of the books required. However, at least from my memory, the Mimic wasn't built up in Ruin, not like how Henry was in Pizza Sim. I played Ruin a little while back, and if I wasn't spoiled because of that one meme, I probably wouldn't have expected the Mimic in-game. Not because it was a good twist, but because there was no reason why I should have suspected him to make an appearance. Any other character would have just been as shocking too. For example, replace the Mimic with Circus Baby. They both can mimic voices, and it would be as surprising to appear and make the same amount of sense. It would have been better if the Mimic was teased in Security Breach or in Ruin, before the reveal. That's why a lot of people find it annoying that he appeared, or at least that's why I feel annoyed that he appeared. So, reading would be required to even know this guy's deal, and it would be different if the Mimic had like a trilogy. But 8 books? That's a lot of reading so I can just know about the new villain of FNAF. Now you could say, well, if you've read the books, it's a fun bonus to the reveal. But the reveal itself is not that it's the Mimic, but it just wasn't Gregory, if you know what I mean by that. Now that seems fine at the moment, but like I said before, now the community has to care about 8 books that a lot of people probably didn't want to read, but now has to if they want to be included in the lore, which is one of FNAF's biggest selling points. So, for the other book series, Fazbear Frights, what's the problem there? Well, in my opinion, it's sort of the same with Tales. There's just so many of them for a casual fan to care about. The stories themselves also have a bit of a weird reputation, with Mpreg, a time-traveling ball pit, and sea bonnies. To be honest, there's so much more than that is just as weird. And I'm gonna be honest with ya, I can deal with jump scares, I can deal with confusing lore. But when I have to read more books as Springtrap, Mpreg, that's where I draw the line. Well, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but you guys get my point. But I guess what I'm trying to say is these stories would be fun if they were what they were advertised as, just small stories in the FNAF universe. I would like them better that way if they had their own lore and such. But my problem starts when people try using these to solve the games, and honestly I can't even blame them because that's what Scott said to do. But for me this is a big turnoff because instead of enjoying these stories as something new and as a new story for FNAF, all I'm thinking about is how it links back to the older games and such, and that of itself is a problem for FNAF. FNAF is obsessed with its past, and it's hard to move forward with new stories when you're always thinking about the last villain. However, that's a whole other video topic for another day. But before I end this video, I do have to show I'm not biased, because even my favorite book trilogy is responsible for some of the more shark-jumping stuff in the series, like Afton being a mad scientist or everyone being a robot. Honestly, the more sci-fi stuff in FNAF really is a hit or miss for me, but that's just my thoughts. But yeah guys, that's my thoughts on the current state of the FNAF book. Sorry if I was a little extra negative with this one, but this is a topic I'm passionate about. Let me know what you guys think about the books in the comments down below. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching, stay safe out there, and may the stars shine down upon you.